Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, I just had a conversation with a guy who, just got a letter for a court order. He's been invited to court for an arrest that happened a few weeks ago. And this was basically because of the fact that he drove with a provisional license alone, and he got stopped by the police, and he has gotten an order, a court order, and he needs to attend court basically for the magistrate's judgment. And I felt it was really important to have these conversations because I've seen so many migrants make this mistake. I mean, it's becoming like a common mistake most immigrants are making, especially for those who recently moved into the UK. So this person moved into the UK around, according to him, around, I think he came in with a May intake in 2024, and when he came in, he brought in his international driver's license when he came in. And for those who don't know, you can actually drive in the UK on your provisional license for your first 1 year. After 1 year, or within the 1 year, you're expected to have passed the UK driver's test or driving test, and then get your full driver's license. However, because of the kind of job this person was getting and applying for, he actually do require to have a full license to be able to take up some of those jobs, especially for those who are looking at getting into job roles like marketing. I mean, it's very important for you to have a full driver's license for you to be able to take up some roles. So he got a job that requires him to have a full license, which of course he lost the job eventually because he only had the international license and the company wants him to have the full license. So in a way to get the full license, he bought a car, got on Auto Trader. He bought a car of about 1,500. That's £1,500. And he started driving the car on the provisional license. And I mean, you don't need to pass any test to get a provisional license, but you need a provisional license to get your theory tests booked, and also get your practical test also booked. So he got a provisional license and he started driving. Now, so a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, he was driving to work. So he currently works with one of the manufacturing company here in the UK as a factory worker, and he was driving to work and got stopped by the police. Now, I mean, for those who believe in the UK, know that hardly would you get to see police stop you. Basically, you hardly get stopped by police when driving, but this was actually got stopped. And I think it's also important to mention the fact that when you're doing your insurance, you get to put the type of license you've got if you've got a provisional license. So when you register a car, or you get your license, your insurance sorted for that car, remember you would have probably put in that you have a provisional license, and you get to pay a little bit lower in terms of insurance cost compared to someone that has a full license, especially if you have just your full license nearly. So he got his insurance sorted around, I think he got it sorted. He got the car around October last year, and obviously got his insurance sorted, but because of the cost of the yearly insurance, he decided to opt for the monthly one. Then he started driving basically, and he's been driving for a while. I mean, for a couple of months before he got stopped by the police. Now, this was a major issue. Now, driving the car on the provisional license is not a problem. However, for you to drive with a provisional license, you need to have someone that has a full license sitting right beside you. I think the person needs to, have a full license for about 3 years to sit with you and accompany you on the trip. So what I'm assuming was that when he was driving the car and, he was going to work that day, and he saw a police car right behind him. I remember when I got my own full license too, he would have the full license. When I see the police behind me, I'm always a little bit, what have I done wrong? Have I, missed, a red stop? Have I done something wrong, basically? So when I saw the police car behind him, he got stopped basically. And the major reason why he was stopped was because the police probably ran. I mean, when you see a police car staying right behind you for a long time, and if you're able to look through your rear view mirror and you see the policeman trying to type something and looking at your plate number, just be sure that they're trying to check your details on their system. So apparently, I guess the police probably checked his details and discovered that this person has a provisional license, and they probably couldn't see someone accompanying him, and they decided to stop him. And when they stopped him, they asked him questions. can he provide his license? At first, what he did was he provided the what's it called, the international license. That was what he provided at first. Then they told him that, oh, when did you move into the UK? He mentioned when, and they were like, oh yeah, you can use this to drive in the UK because you've been here for over a year, and you can only drive on an international license for 1 year. So they asked him to provide his full UK license. Obviously they knew, whenever the police in the UK is asking you a question, just know that 99% of the time they have an answer ready. So don't even bother lying, just be very sincere with them. So then he brought out his provisional license, and no, at first he said, oh, his full license is at home. He lied, and they were like, okay, they're happy to drive him home so they can provide the license. So the moment he knew that, his lies would not fly, he then came out clean with them and said, oh, he has a professional license, and he provided that. And they were like, is he aware that he can't drive on it, so without someone with a full license accompanying him? And the whole question went on. Then the next thing was that they told him to get off the car. They impounded the car, took the car off him, and they told him that he was going to get a letter from that they're going to have to charge him to court. Now, this was where the major issue then kind of gets a little bit more complex. So before the whole asking him to get off the car and then telling him that he's going to get a court order, now what they discovered was that his insurance actually expired 2 days before that encounter with the police. For some reason, the first question I asked him was, why did you just do a direct debit on your account for them to take off the monthly payment for the for the insurance? Why do you have to always try to remember to do it? Personally, I do a year. I don't want to think about it for the next 1 year. So apparently his license was not valid for driving, and secondly, his insurance expired 2 days ago. So then the conversation with the police, and I think that was the major reason why it was stopped, because mostly, I've seen people who have been driving the UK for a while on the provisional license and never got stopped by the police, and they leverage on that to get their license sorted and start driving on a full license. So I think the major reason why it was stopped was because of the insurance issue. So because he had no insurance and they discovered that he has a provisional license, that's loads of other issues that could put him in trouble. So look, from your conversation, even though they claim that they're probably stopping him because he had no full license, when he got to court, when he got the court order, he got like full details on why he was stopped. The insurance that expired, he was driving on a provisional license. And that's why I tell people, say, I know it can be really expensive, getting your full license. However, if you're going to get any car before getting your full license, make sure whenever you're going out, you have someone that has a full license sitting right beside you to ensure that you don't get yourself into trouble, because there's a high possibility that if you get charged to court, it might impact your DBS, it might impact the kind of job that you can get. So please and please, it's not advisable to drive on a provisional license all alone. Make sure you do have someone that accompanies you on any trip you're going. I've even had conversation, with people, and when it comes to not just provisional license, when it comes to driving, you have to be very careful. Even if, so let's say for example, I got a car, I've got the insurance sorted, my name is on the insurance. Your partner cannot drive the car if you don't add a partner on that insurance. I've heard people who have also been arrested for that reason. A wife driving her husband's car, and the insurance policy on that car doesn't cover her. And there was a video that went viral on TikTok a few months ago that a woman was stopped and she kept claiming, oh, my husband has done insurance on this car. And police was like, yes, there's an insurance on this car, but you are not covered to drive this car. So please and please let's make sure that we have the right information and do the right thing when it comes to driving. The UK is stressful enough for you to start adding other unnecessary issues to your stress in this country. Please, let's make sure we have enough information. So the court is stated for, I think, end of this month. So he has to, appear in court. And he was even given two options. It's either he appears in court to get the judgment from the magistrate, or he can, choose not to come and we get a letter on the decision or the judgment being made. The advice I gave him was to go. If you can probably, ignorance is not an excuse in this country, but if you can probably go there and explain the situation, probably, if the direct debit you did or the payment that was supposed to be taken off your account was not taking, and I mean, just go there basically and, you know, show remorse basically. So yeah, the decision is that he has to go. He has to appear in court so that, you know, he can table his own side of the story, and hopefully, finger crossed, is going to get some mercy from the magistrate, and, you know, the judgment wouldn't be so difficult. So yeah, that's what I felt I need to share with you guys. And please make sure that you get all of that sorted when it comes to your license. And yeah, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, my name is Daniel. I share everything UK immigration, transition into tech and personal finance. Do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. So this will be the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.